class. I just wanted to hopefully that you're enjoying your spring break, and I just wanted to kind of just briefly just kind of go over what the final project symposium is going to look like for that's going to be due in a couple weeks. So the nice thing about the way that this class is designed is that you're going to be you have been working on your final project over the duration of the course, and that's going to really and then you've had the opportunity then to get feedback, constructive feedback on how well you've been doing, and also to try to maybe make some mid-course corrections as far as maybe some things that maybe were misaligned or maybe needed to be reevaluated and rethought through. So when it comes down to the finish line, so then now you have the opportunity to kind of pull all that together into a cohesive whole, and that's what we're going to be doing. So it's not you're not going to be just merely just piecing everything together that you've been doing, but you're going to the goal is for you, now that you've had the opportunity to go through all the coursework, all the materials that we've been looking at, reading and watching and interacting with. I'm hoping that your understanding of the instructional design theories that we've been looking at, the learning theories that we've been looking at, and the assessment evaluation theories we've been looking at, all this knowledge is going to now make a lot more sense to you, so that it wouldn't make sense then to go directly back to the first section of that template that you've been working on and just say, well, that's good enough now to kind of put into the final project. Maybe, maybe not, but you want to make sure that you take enough time to fully review with a critical eye to make sure that all of those pieces do fit together. You know, looking at your learning outcomes, looking at the different learning strategies, looking at the different ways that you evaluate and assess, you know, from benchmark assessment to formative assessment to summative assessment, and looking at the rationales that you used in order to come and arrive at those kind of conclusions. And now you're going to see the very last part of that template that you've been using is that you're going to be taking a look at, you're going to describe for us the instruction and the learning activities that you're going to use, and how that connection is going to be linked to learning theories. So there's a couple of components to this final project that you're going to be working on. This is by far the biggest piece. This is where all the labor is going to be very intensive, and you're going to be doing that. But we want to make sure that this is not just an individual effort, that this is not just an individual, that this is the only, you and me, or both of us are the only ones that are going to see this and to review and look at it and benefit from it. We want this to be a showcase in which you are going to share this with your colleagues in this class, so that we've been interacting together with this all along. It would be a shame if then we are left out of the grand finale of what this is going to look like at the very end. And I'm hoping that as you have been working on your projects, as you've been interacting in the discussion forums about certain pieces of the project, you begin to start to know and become very familiar with some of the projects that your colleagues are working on. And hopefully, I mean, the goal is also to be able to come up with some ideas and start thinking maybe that some of your colleagues have been doing something similar, or perhaps maybe different context, but very similar projects that you might think that you would be working on, and you would come to a better conclusion as a result of interfacing with your colleagues and interfacing with some of the ways in which they're making the decisions on their projects as well. So we want to make sure that this is mutually beneficial for everyone, not just you're finishing your project, you finish the class, and you just kind of go along your merry way for the grade. But we want to make sure that this is an opportunity for all of us to kind of come together at the very end of the class and being able to demonstrate and show others how we work as instructional designers. So part of that, okay, you finish the final project template. That's fantastic. So the second part of that is that you're going to make a small, short presentation of just describing for us in kind of abstract, high-level perspective of exactly how you're going to talk about your project. You're going to talk about the main goal of your project, and then you're going to kind of work through each of those sections and how you came to the conclusions that you made, just to kind of explain to us, all of us, for our all mutual benefit, so that when we work through that, I should be able to pick that up and being able to do very little work in order to adapt it maybe to another context. So you're going to teach us how you came to formulate your project. It shouldn't be any more than maybe 7 minutes at the most, so that you really need to know very well what you did, why you did it, and be able to kind of give us a short sell of how that is. Because honestly, when you are working in multiple different contexts, there's going to be a lot of times that you're going to have to explain yourself and how you are going to work through a particular project and why you make the decisions that you make, to those who may not understand the jargon that we might use in instructional design. So if you are working with a client, if you are working with other stakeholders who are not familiar with the instructional design process, you'll need to be able to explain to them in layman's terms how you have done that. And so it's very helpful for us to kind of get some practice in doing that. So this is your opportunity to shine and to be able to bring that forth to us. And I'm looking forward to that. So you're going to be uploading your project into the discussion forum. You're going to watch a couple of your colleagues' projects, and then you're going to make some comments on how, for their presentation, and how they explain their project. And we're going to interact a little bit with coming up with perhaps some comments and some constructive feedback for one another, so that we can continue to grow and to be able to communicate better what we're doing, and to be able to sharpen our focus as it comes to developing instructional materials for the participants in which we serve. So I'm looking forward to that. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to let me know. I want to make sure that I work with you very closely to the finish line, so that we all finish strongly. So it's been a fantastic semester working with each and every one of you. You guys have got some fantastic projects that you should be proud of, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the final product's going to look like here in a few weeks. Take care.